let's get back to the August jobs report. Fairly weak. Only 22,000 jobs added in August. Labour Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer joins me now. Madam Secretary, welcome back to the show. It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
The job market's slowing. Surely there is no excuse for the Fed not to lower interest rates sharply. I'm sure you agree with that, Madam Secretary.
Absolutely. Jerome Powell should be embarrassed by this report because he has not done his job. You know, the president was right in 2016, and the president is right now. Everybody has done their job. The president in his tariff talks, the trade deals, the trade deficit, making sure that that is for the American people, that he has balanced that. Congress did their part in passing the One Big Beautiful Bill, the working tax cuts for Americans. But Jerome Powell has not done his job. He needs to lower that interest rate so that makes sure all three legs of that stool are doing their job for the American people.
Do tariffs have anything to do with this slowing job market?
Tariffs are working. I've been on the road, as you know, in 32 states out of my 50-state tour. Tariffs are working. How do I know this? Because companies are reinvesting in the American workforce. We're seeing the consumer confidence up. We're seeing real wages up year over year, almost 4%. Real wages are up. Blue collar boom, I talk about it. It seems like something that is rhetoric, but it's not, because that's what we're seeing on the ground. Blue collar wages are up 1.4%. Unemployment is still holding steady. Statistically, it's non-existent. So that's the key to the American people, is that we're leaning in, we're doing everything we can for this workforce, and now this is one more thing that the Fed can do, and Jerome Powell hasn't done his job, and the president, that's why he's been so vocal about this. We need those interest rates down.
Would you admit to being just a little disappointed by this weakening job market?
Well, 22,000 jobs underperformed just a bit, but it's still in the positive. Almost 500,000 jobs have been created since the president took office. It's going to take some time. But again, when everybody's working for the American people and the American worker, and somebody chooses not to, and they're instrumental in those decisions that affect the market, that affect the wage growth, that affect all of those things, do your job. And I know that the president's not going to let up on this, and neither am I.
The manufacturing jobs in this latest report, down 12,000. Don't think the president wants to see that, does he?
No, absolutely not. What he wants to see is the reinvestment in the workforce and manufacturing and construction. That's where we need the skilled training. That's why I'm on the road, to understand that we're going to make America skilled again. So as these companies continue to invest, $8 trillion is already being invested, and we're going to see more and more of that. We're going to need that workforce so that those jobs numbers go up. I'll be working with our state partners, and I know I've said this over and over again. We're going to get those funds to our respective state partners, be the best federal partner we can be, so that workforce is ready to go as soon as they are needed. And so, yes, it's going to take some time, but this job, it takes hard work. The president's leading the way, and we're going to continue to lean in and make America, skilled again. And what I do love to see is those 100,000 jobs of federal workers that have gone down, and we're going to grow the private sector jobs. 84% of the jobs that have, out of the 500,000, are from the private sector, and we want to continue to see that investment by those businesses.
One last one, and I think I've talked to you about this before. How do we know that those manufacturing jobs that come back to America won't be done by robots? Because that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like is going to happen.
Oh, absolutely not. AI is here to stay, but it's to assist the American worker and the American business. That's what I'm hearing on the ground, again, from these private sectors. They're using AI at the leadership, again, of the president's executive order. But you know what we want? We want to make sure that we're investing in the workforce to have AI-driven jobs. But I can tell you this. As we move through this process, we want them proficient and literate in AI. I heard David Sachs talk yesterday when I was with the First Lady at this AI conference. I'm on the subcommittee. And what we want to make sure that we're assisting the American worker, because what we don't want is them competing against another American worker who knows AI better than them. So we want everybody proficient and literate in AI as we move forward in this economy to grow this American economy and have more people keep more of their hard-earned dollars in their own pockets.
Madam Secretary, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely.